Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke. Sheer, were you getting that same delayed small stuff in the background?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a new touch.
I thought it was new. I thought it was interesting. I like it. Okay, either way, hello, everybody. Hello. Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. Subscribe to PHNX. Also, make sure you like this. I do a very, very bad job of telling people to like it. Yes, that was not technologically my fault. Almost everything is mine, but this was not one of mine. Okay, we've got a lot to get to this show. We're going to talk Arizona basketball. We are going to talk a lot of Arizona basketball. Unfortunately, we're going to talk a little Arizona football as well. But Sheer, let's talk about Arizona basketball. You have been very, very, stalwart that you preferred somebody other than Trey Townsend, a spacer, a Javier Ramos type. And is Trey Townsend also a spacer?
When he shoots like that, he is. That was. And it was interesting the explanation Tommy gave after the game, which is basically, and Trey gave it too, that Oakland, even though their offense was good, it was very regimented. Like, look at the point guard, call a play, that's what you run. He said he had trouble at first learning this offense because it's so free-flowing, but the dude hit 12 threes all last year, and I know it was an exhibition against South Point Catholic, but four threes in the first half, I mean, that's wild. And look, if he makes 43s, like, that changes the whole dynamic of Arizona's offense.
Well, at that point, then he's a spacer. I mean, we got to be honest.
I win. I win. If he turns into a spacer, I win.
No. I'll just put it to you like this. I very much like where I stand as opposed to where you stand with Javier Ramos. But let's talk a little bit more Trey Townsend, though. Also, you know what I wanted to talk about, and this was the big thing that I came away from? No soft weenies. There is no soft weenies on this team. We've had too many of them in the past. There's dogs at every single position. I like what I see, and especially, too, with Tommy Lloyd being a really nice guy, and I say that as a compliment. I think you need some tough guys. So, again, it looked, I was very, very impressed by what I saw across the board. We're going to get to Henry. Don't worry. We're going to get
Well, I mean, you look at it and it's like, there's not a human being in college basketball that's going to push Tobe Awaka around, right? No. It's just not, it's not going to happen. And when Krivas gets back, no one's going to push him around. And, yeah, I mean, and this is, I think when you look at the best way we could put it is when we talked on the phone coming home from the game yesterday, is we both said there's no dead weight.
None.
We talked about this on the show last year and how, there's no guy where you're putting in the game and you're like, oh my God, how long?
Oh God, no.
Yes, there's no guy like that.
Also, something else that we need to talk about as well with Trey Townsend, and I got you to admit this a couple weeks ago, so there is, I'm giving you some credit on this one. But with Trey Townsend, the other thing that I think is also very, very appealing is that, listen, Keyshawn Johnson did a lot of really, really good things, and I'm very glad that he was here. He was good. Trey Townsend's a better basketball player.
Yeah.
Trey Townsend is a more impactful basketball player than Keyshawn, period.
Well, Keyshawn had no offense, right? Like, he hit an open jumper occasionally, and he'd have a post move, but his offense came off rebounds. We saw more offense from Trey than we did.
Right.
And I will say this. I think watching yesterday with Trey and Jaden and all that, like, there's a very real chance Arizona leads the country in free throw attempts per game.
Yes. We are going to talk about that. That is a good thing. And I've said this from day one. With this team, with Tommy Lloyd, there's two concerns that I have. And again, I think Tommy Lloyd is A+. I want him here longer than I'm alive. So, I guess that means that he would outlive me by a great margin. Well, knock on wood. Hopefully
he doesn't get fired in 3 years.
Yeah, I was going to say. But there's two different things, though, that I think are a little bit of a weak link. In-season player accountability, I think that's shown that's been a little bit of an issue in the past. But also not having enough guys on the team that can make plays off the bounce. We saw that against Clemson, where the only one keeping him in the game was Jaden Bradley. You had a bunch of guys. Pelle Larson all of a sudden can dribble now, but he couldn't dribble when he was here. And Caleb Love was essentially the only guy that can make plays off the bounce. Now you got 3 or 4 dudes that can get to the free throw line, can make things happen. I am very, very excited about these possibilities, Mr. Jason Shear.
Yeah, it's a very dynamic offense, right? Like, there's weapons. And Tommy said something interesting. He said in the offseason his biggest concern was shooting. Like, he felt that shooting is this team's weakness. And then they go out yesterday and they hit 16 threes or whatever it was. Right. And it's like, they're not going to do that every night, but you look around and it should be a pretty good team. And really, again, like Trey Townsend, even if he could hit 2 threes a game, it changes the dynamic of this offense in the sense that last night, I think, was the first Tommy Lloyd offense that we've seen that did not work inside to out.
That's a good point. That's actually a very good point.
They were not feeding the post every time down court and having things around that. It was different. This is a different offense.
All right, now Joseph was a Trey Townsend denier from day one, just like a Jeremiah Patterson denier. We saw how
big
that
game
worked.
from Jeremiah this weekend, though. I could
big
feel
game.
it.
We have a break. Listen, he showed what he was capable of last week. I think we all saw what we saw, and now against West Virginia, it's going to be.
I don't want to go off topic here, but this is his weekend.
This is his weekend. Yes, exactly. But Joseph was wrong about Trey Townsend. Joseph, I believe, wanted Javier Ramos as well. And I'm going to say it right now. With Trey Townsend, I'm going to say 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Boom. Good. Yes. Thank you. Sign me up for
agree
more.
with that.
What?
Yeah. I know what you really mean is 26, 16, and 6.
No, dude, that's all crap, dude.
But I'm proud of you. Yeah,
that's all nonsense.
13, 8, and 3 is perfect. And he's going to have some games, Mike, where, and I know you think this too, where he goes out and gets like 24 and 7 and is the leading scorer.
Dude, I blame you for so much misinformation that is permeating throughout the Tucson community.
No, you told me last night that in an ideal world, Trey puts up 25, 12, and 7 a game.
Dude, I get so many people now that come up to me and they're like, so Mike, you think that every starter is going to average 22 points per game and everybody off the bench is going to average 17?
It's almost as
That's
bad
because of you.
It's almost as bad as when you tell people I like Javier Ramos.
Yeah. No, you did. You preferred Javier Ramos originally. We can ask John Brogan 1290. He will look, and Ben One White.
I didn't like any of them.
No, but you preferred Javier Ramos.
I wasn't sold on Trey Townsend, but I didn't like Javier Ramos.
But you preferred Javier Ramos.
I didn't like either of them that much. That's not true.
But you didn't like. All right, but either way, it's a loss for you. We agree with that. Yes. Yeah. Football at the end, unfortunately. TJ, sorry. Let's.
And I think one thing that we also took away from last night is, I think Dylan made the right move. There's just no minutes for him.
Let's talk Henry. I would guess what? Hey, you want to hear a little bit of a flex? Guess who I was talking with on the phone today for about 30 minutes?
When you bring up Dylan, was it Frank?
Frank Caliendo, my friend.
Yes, yeah, remember when he said that he liked me better than you?
Yeah, he did. And he said that to my face as well. That was terrible. After talking bad about you for 3 years, he said that to your face, a total weenie. We talked about Henry. It's going to be very, very interesting to see Henry this year, because here's where I'm at. With you, stop with the daughter comments. If you can get 10 minutes per game, 10 productive minutes from Henry, that is a game changer. Here's why. Because, listen, he is a unique player on this team. One thing he's always been able to do, and this is for you, Anthony Humbert, he's always been able to block shots. That is the one thing that he has come fairly natural to him. If he can be a shot blocker and make an occasional 3, well, and you can steal, 4 minutes in each half with him? Yes, sir, sign me up for 3. And by the way, Dylan Anderson has aged greatly since he's moved to Boise, by the way. But that picture is not good. But what say you, Skier?
Look, if he can, I don't expect him to score 19 points every game and look like that. I'm actually curious what he looks like as soon as Monday. That's actually a much better, they're not going to lose or anything, but it is a much better team than Eastern New Mexico. Point Loma is one of the best teams in D2. 10 minutes, I think, is reasonable. I want it to be a situation where you're able to put him in there against Baylor and not completely drop off. You know what I mean? Like he needs to be able to bang around a little bit with those bigs and look like he belongs. And yesterday he looked like, forget the skill. I think the biggest difference yesterday was he looked like a guy that believed in himself.
Were you surprised about the girth he's put on?
Yeah, he's gained 10 pounds. He's gained like 30 pounds since he's been here.
Wow. Okay. And again, now let's talk Tobe Awaka. We got to give Jack Murphy a lot of credit on this. First of all, though, I will take credit for Tobe Awaka. I spotted him before anybody else, culinary dropout.
I think people need to realize that sometimes we found so many recruits.
We have
visiting by accident. like you went out to culinary dropout. I used to have a friend that worked in the U of A bookstore, and she would text me and be like, so-and-so just bought a t-shirt here. And I'd be like, what? They're not supposed to be on campus.
Dude, it was great, too, when I saw Waka there, and then I saw eventually Murph was pretending originally that he didn't see me. He was doing this thing and then I saw Murph, and I just went like this, and then So then I messaged you the picture of him,
Then
and
I
I said, let's
texted,
find. We knew who it was. You found out who it was within like 20 minutes.
then I texted someone. I think I texted Murph, and I was like, "What are you eating right now?" He's
Yes.
like,
Oh,
my
very, very
guys are-
good.
Yeah.
Yes. You can run, but you can't hide. Murph's ignored my last 4 texts, by the way. Either
It's
way.
season. You won't hear from him. It's season
No,
time.
I just tried to give him props on Tobe Awaka, and he,
No,
either way,
it's
Tobe Awaka, a man of girth, a man of strength, a man of probably a guy that drives Sanderson Fords. But he's a monster. He's going to be perfect for Big 12 play. By the way, with going against a team like Houston, that doesn't Houston always have like 9 Tobe Awakas?
Yes.
I mean, so again, that's good. Do you have any other thoughts or just yes?
Well, you said Houston has 9 Toby. I love the guy. He's a guys
It's
like
Tobe,
him.
not Toby. Stop saying Toby.
I said Toby.
No, you said Toby. Go ahead.
No. I like him. I think he's tough. I think you always need at least one guy like him that's not going to get pushed around. Right. He's going to probably face players that'll score more points than him because that's their role.
Right.
But they're not going to push him around on the block.
Oh, by the way, PM Beam says, hope the team is tougher than the pigskin team. I think they are going to be tougher than the pigskin team. We're going to talk a little bit about that because you said something yesterday that I asked a few parents about, and they confirmed about the workout regimen being drastically different than last year's.
Yeah.
So I'll just
I
leave it like that. The great Brad Rich, by the way. Okay, now Robert Scott Ehrlich says, Skier, Tommy did not say that this team had shooting issues. He said that last year's team lacked shooting, and he decided that this better spend extra time preparing this team. Sheer, you just got called out by the great Robert Scott Ehrlich.
Did I?
Yes, you did. I mean, he's calling you out.
I don't know.
All right, either way. Tobe Awaka, though,
I don't remember the quote.
He's going to be – I think Tobe Awaka is going to play 20-something minutes per game this year. I really do. I think they're going to need him in a lot of games. I think 21, 22 minutes per game for Tobe Awaka, and I think he's going to be a stat sheet stuffer.
Here's a question I have for you. I think Krivas starts, but why?
Because Tommy likes him.
I kind of like Krivas off the bench a little bit. Looking at
I do as well. But listen, one thing we know about Tommy is that Tommy, if you are starting, if Tommy tells you you're going to start, you are going to start. Kylan Boswell says hello.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just saying it could wind up. And Tommy kind of said yesterday, he's like, we're not sure who's starting at that spot yet. So we'll see.
Really interesting. I'd rather start Krivas, though. He's bigger. I think it's easier for a guy like Krivas to be demoted to the bench than to come in. He's I disagree with you, Sheer. I would start Krivas, even though I think Awaka is better.
I mean, I'll take both. It's not like a huge argument I have.
Okay, Jervis Williams. By the way, Jervis Williams is, I very much miss Jervis Williams because he's never here for football. I don't blame you, but he's always back for basketball. Jervis, welcome to the party. We missed you. Okay, now Andre Veras, the great Andre Veras says, who plays more minutes, Krivas or Awaka? I'm going to say it's a push.
Probably a push.
20 and 20?
Yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure I'm right on that quote.
No, you're wrong. You're totally wrong. Totally wrong. So again,
you don't know. You got the double jab, and you were on the ropes yesterday.
Double jab? What do you mean?
The double jab.
You
were on the ropes.
Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! So I got, and don't turn this into political stuff.
No. I'm just saying because I think Mike did the double jab. I never do the double jab.
I'm going to tell something. I made a massive mistake yesterday, and I'm still reeling a little bit from it. I got my flu shot, and I was talked into giving the COVID shot. I got the COVID shot, and I had the worst headache that I've ever had. Don't turn this political, but it is funny. My mom is a huge COVID shot supporter, and I basically have told her, she's not listening today, so I can say this. She's basically asked me if I've had my 9th shot or whatever. I'm just like, whatever. But no, I haven't. But I got it yesterday, and man, I am not feeling well. I'll put it to you like that.
Mike, I'm posting the quote because I'm 100% right.
What did you say? What do you say? Go ahead.
It's something we spend a lot of time on. I evaluated the team in the offseason and looked for potential weaknesses and thought our overall shooting might be. It doesn't bother me, but you have to have an awareness. We spend a lot of time on shooting. They shot the ball well tonight, but it's not something we're expecting on a nightly basis. He doesn't believe that one of this team's strengths is shooting right now.
All right, well, he's wrong. Okay, Brad. Yeah, what does Tommy Lloyd know? Brad Rich says, was Matt talking about? By the way, Matt Muehlbach, multiple references. Get ready, my friend. Get ready. Leader of Men reference, a Mount Crevis reference, and I think there was another one in there. So, but Brad Rich says, was Matt talking about Emmanuel being pretty raw? How do we feel about him getting relevant minutes? No relevant minutes this season.
No chance.
No chance. He's not ready.
To basically put it like from the coaches, they think he's going to be good. They would prefer him to take the Henry route. Like in red shirt, right? He's really, I mean, we saw it last night. We saw it in the red and blue game. The dude can't stop fouling.
Right.
He's a walking foul.
He's kind. You know what else is kind of odd about him too when you watch him practice? He's oddly proportioned, and he's very large up front, and he's very skinny in the legs. Needs a little bit of weight. I think it's a little bit of trunk move, a little bit of trunk strength.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not bad. Like, I mean, you can't play him now. But they don't think he's going to suck. Like, they think he's going to be pretty good.
Well, I'm glad they don't think he's going to suck. Also, let's talk Carter Bryant, the guy that's definitely not going to suck. Listen, some guys you can just tell are built a little bit differently. Their game just translates to the Their game just translates to the MNBA a little bit more than other guys to the MNBA. By the way, MNBA tonight. But
is it tonight?
Yeah, MNBA starts tonight. Yeah.
Wow.
Very excited. WNBA, MNBA, okay, but MNBA. Carter Bryant, that game, his game reeks of NBA. He's smooth. The game comes easily to him. He comes from a family, obviously, that has prepared him for this moment. I would love to have that man's future.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with him now, and Tommy said it yesterday, and it showed up in high school a little bit also, is sometimes he tends to coast a little bit. And he can't really do that in college basketball, and he's still kind of learning that, because we saw games where he didn't do a lot, and then the next game he looked like the best player in the country. Right? He's got to kind of find that happy medium, or look like the best player in the country every game. Right. So he's working on that, but I would say when you look at the prospects that Arizona's had over the past 5 years, he might be the most intriguing.
He's the most intriguing, and I don't care what anybody says. Deshaun Bryant, if you're listening, Carter Bryant, if you're listening. Oh, did I tell you who listens to the show? Did I know who? Well, duh. I mean, let's be honest here. Caleb Love.
Yes.
At Media Day, he came up to me and called me YouTube guy.
That's about as big of a compliment as you're going to get, Mike.
That is, no, you know what? I basically shut it down at that point, and I'm like, hey. Then I looked and I said, Eric L. Day, did you see this? And this was right after DRF's kid was putting down the Del Taco cheeseburger. So I needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. Caleb Love was there. Caleb Love was the closer. But, what was I going to say? What were we talking about? What are we talking about? That's a good point.
I don't remember. Oh, who watched Carter Bryant coasting? Oh, intriguing prospect.
Yes, Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant, I think you can definitely make that case as the best MNBA prospect that has come through here under the Tommy gun. Some guys, that's what I was going to say. Some guys' games just translate to the next level, and I don't care what Deshaun Bryant says, even though he's a very large man that could beat me up, and he is smarter than me. All of those things. I love the Jason Tatum comparison. I do not care. I will not back away from that. He moves like Tatum. He handles the ball like Tatum. I'm not saying he's as good as Tatum, but I do like that comparison, and you like it too, Sheer. Do not shrivel in the face of uncertainty.
He reminds me of a 6'8" Michael Luke, you know?
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Tatum's the obvious one, right? And I get what Deshaun's trying to say. You don't want to. I hate.
We should get Deshaun on the show next week.
We should. I hate comparisons, but when you look at them, I mean, they just, you know.
And it's not like it's a put down. He's like the richest guy in the NBA. It's not like I'm saying, man, I compared him to Joe McClain. You don't know who that is, but it's like either way. Carter Bryant.
I just took that point Lomas stats while you were talking, Mike, because I'm very excited about the next game. This is the coolest team ever. They shot 700 threes last year. Arizona shot 280. They shot 700 threes.
That's good.
35%. It's going to be every guy shooting threes. I love
If I was that's what I would do. If I was coaching one of these like or one of these like 3-time or these like Division 8 schools, I would just tell everybody to get up as many shots as possible. Just do it. Just let's have fun here. This would really be, you know what it would? It'd be the Brent Brennan approach where we just clap, we have fun, and we know when we end up losing, it's like, well, you know what? Just got to coach better. See you next week. Same statement. That's where it is. My bad, Carter. No, I'm not going to have a my bad Carter. Rick Barons, the great Rick Barons. Come on. Hashtag my bad Carter for saying you were a 2-year player. No, I'm not going to. That is not. We need to be very clear on something here when it comes to the my bad movement, because there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of misconceptions going on here about the my bad movement. You have to prove it. After last year, I had so many people after the ASU game. My bad Boswell. My bad Boswell. I'm like, no, it was one game. And you know what? I was right. I stood resolute. I stood strong. There will be no my bad movements unless somebody deserves it. This is true, Sheer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that one. We've always been on Team Carter.
Yeah, dude, seriously. And honestly, Deshaun Bryant, we're going to give a shout out to Deshaun Bryant after he's probably going to get mad at me for the Jason Tatum comparison. Deal with it. But he is the perfect father for a kid like this in that he's been through it. Brother was a McDonald's All-American. He played at a high level. He got dunked on, saw Reggie Geary dunk. And he always would just say, you know what? I'm going to trust the staff. If he's a 2-year player, cool. If he's a 1-year player, if he's a no-year, if he's not an NBA player, he was just a very, very, he's just a down-to-earth guy. I'm going to text him right now and see if we can get him on the show next week. But yeah, Go ahead.
You should.
You said you wanted to talk bad about Deshaun Bryant.
I did?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay. Let's see. Rick Barron says, you said he was a 2-year player and he took that personally. No.
No. What are you doing making stuff up?
All right. Daniel Severa has a remark that we need to get to in just a second. But first, Sheer, listen, Empire Flooring. Let's talk about it for a second. Carter Bryant, this dude's going to make a lot of money. And I would assume the first move that he's going to make, maybe not the first, but certainly in the top 5, and that first day is Empire Flooring. Would you? Because again, if you are big, if you have a lot of money, why would you not want solid flooring beneath you? This is true, Sheer.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's the only flooring I walk on. I get really upset when I go outside because I know there's no Empire Flooring on the sidewalks.
Hey, by the way, Shane just messaged me and he said, great transition. I'm so excited. But either way, Empire Flooring, check it out. All kinds of really, really good stuff. What you're also going to like about this, schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details. Also, Sanderson Ford. Listen. Again, the movement, the strength, the outback, the velocity of a Sanderson Ford is something that I don't know that I could that would work for me. Do you think it would, or would it be overcompensating if I had a Sanderson Ford?
I think there would be almost borderline too much masculinity.
Yeah, I don't know. And especially if Ted Wardo's riding in the front seat with me, I don't really know what else to say. But either way, be like Tobe Awaka. Hey, we do agree that Tobe Awaka and a Sanderson Ford writes itself, does it not?
Yeah. I would assume that's what he has.
Yeah, I would assume he has, and if he doesn't, then he's making a mistake. Either way, be like Tobe Awaka or don't be like Tobe Awaka, depending if he has a Sanderson Ford or not. Get in with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense at Sanderson Ford. Offers OAC from Ford credit and expires 10/31 for your next vehicle purchase or lease. Choose the dealership that gives back to the people and pays it forward. See dealership for details. Kevin WN, very, very good point. Do not forget about the Starliner Diner. Okay. Now, Rick Barron says, am I crazy? I am 99% sure they said that Carter was likely to be a 2-year player. Yes, we were wrong, but I will not apologize for it, though.
He could still be.
What's that? He could still be a 2-year player. Yeah. Although it is interesting. I had a guy ask me about, can you compare him to Dallin Terry? And I asked about with Dallin Terry. Shout out Brad Alice, who always calls him Dallin Terry. But here's the difference. And I like Dallin Terry. But if Carter Bryant is in school for his sophomore year, he is an absolute monster. He's just a cut above. And I like Dallin a lot. But it's kind of different. Would you agree with this, Sheer?
Yeah. But
And I like that
Bryant's offensive game right now is better than Dale and Terry's offensive game right now.
Yeah, and physically he's far. Physically he's at. That's the other thing about Carter is that he doesn't look. He looks strong. He looks like he added some girth.
Definitely added some girth. He's strong, and I hope people appreciate. I think they got a glimpse last night. We've been saying it for a while. He is a significantly better passer than he's given credit for.
Yes, exactly.
He is an elite passer for a guy his size.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about Jaden Bradley. Jaden Bradley, not a huge offensive game, but Sheer, he had like 8 steals in the first 2 minutes. I'm telling you, all Big 12 first team defense. I've been saying it.
The line, man. He's there. I mean, there's a really good chance he leads his team in free throws. I actually expect him to lead this team in free throws. Yeah, I like Jaden Bradley.
What's his stat line
on the season? 10, 4 and 3.
Okay, and first team all Big 12 defense, correct?
Sure.
So you know what that would basically be? Jamal Shead Jr. numbers, my friend.
No, but
yeah, it would. No, it would.
Look.
Jamal Shead is a junior. Look up Jamal Shead's numbers as a junior. I will stand on that is the comparison.
I know you will.
Have I run this comparison by you before?
No, not in the last 4 minutes.
Okay, look up Jamal Shead. Are you looking up Jamal
Shead as a junior? You want me to look up? Not as
last year, the year before.
As a junior, he averaged 10.5 points a game, 5.4 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals.
Yep, take it. Boom, same thing.
Okay.
You didn't know that, did you, Sheer? You walked right into that one. You stumbled right into that one.
I just don't. I like Jamal Shead. As a senior, he averaged 13, 6, 4, 2 steals, a block.
Jaden Bradley's not a senior yet. I'm just saying junior Jamal Shead, I am there. Okay, now, Brad Rich, the man of 2 first names. By the way, we lead the nation and people with the first names.
Wait. Rick Barron, is this true? I used to live over there. This is breaking news, Mike.
What
Did
happened?
they really get rid of the Circle K on Prince and Oracle? I'm sorry, Dennis Walsh.
Did they really? The one on Prince and I thought he was kidding.
Is he being serious? I need to know.
Are you being serious?
I used to live over there.
The one that's right across from the. There's also that the gas station across the street, the Valero or something. Yes.
Yeah,
Is this true?
I'm gonna have to drive by.
Do not. I will say this: if this is true, do not touch the one. And I'm being dead serious about this. Do not touch the one on Grant and Oracle. Do not touch the one on Grant and Oracle. That is off limits.
There is a possibility they're rebuilding it.
Ooh, are you looking this up?
I'm gonna go boots on the ground later, Mike.
Right. Let's see
boots
here.
On the ground.
All right. Well, no, that's I need boots on the ground. Also, but again, that's terrible news. Yes, but Grant and Oracle is off limits. As there's 2 ones in the city that are totally off limits. The one
there's a Facebook post about it. I'm getting to the bottom of it right now.
Okay, yeah. Well, you talk. I will go. There's 2 Circle Ks that can never be touched under any circumstances. The Circle K that is on Oracle and Grant, that will never be touched, and the one that is on 6th Street. The one on 6th Street that is non-negotiable.
Done.
The U of A can burn down bore that one goes away. What's going on?
It's done. It's permanently closed. They want to build a new one somewhere else in the area. There's other issues you can probably know by the area it's in, and so they closed it. Well,
moment of silence.
Guys. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
Yeah.
Man, that's rough, man. That's rough. All right. Yeah. Well, either way, Grant and Oracle stand strong. We should organize a protest, Kevin WN. Also, let's talk about Anthony let's see, going to build a Circle K with 200 gas pumps.
This is like shocking news.
I've been to that one a billion times. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm kind of stuck. All right, real quick. And then we're going to get to Anthony Dell'Orso. We lead the nation on people in a chat with first names. Look at all this stuff. We got Ryan Mitchell. We've got, let's see here. We've got, hold on a second. Going back up. Hold on. Ryan Mitchell, Andy Bryant, a first name as well. Let's see here. We've got, Let's see. There's Brad Rich, president of the First Names fan club.
Yeah.
We've got Mike Luke,
Kevin
obviously.
Thomas.
Oh, Kevin Thomas. Hey, do you think do you think there's a Diefenbach in Germany? Diefenbach. Yeah, I always like doing that. Did I ever tell you when I went to Germany one time?
No.
Oh man, that is a tough language to learn. Everything. Yeah, so again, you got to really clear your throat. It's not for the faint of heart. Either way, Andy Bryant, do not do that one. Okay, now let's talk about Anthony Dell'Orso. Dell'Orso is Halakakik says 2 first names is overrated. No, it is not. Okay, now Palmer Hoffman. I actually met P. Hoff. We were Raquel and I were leaving the game, and P. Hoff came up and I think shook my hand. It was very, very nice moment.
Wow.
Thank you, P. Hoff. But Anthony Dell'Orso, there's fake shooters and there's good shooters. He appears to be a good shooter. This is true.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he played in the first half, to be honest. I thought he was kind of coasting a little bit and wasn't really trying to guard. But the second half, he was better. He got kind of a wake-up call. I've heard that's a slight issue in practice as well. It's just the consistency. I think he'll get there. I think he realizes, there's a transition. Like at Campbell, he probably didn't have to play hard all the time. Let's be honest. At Arizona, if he doesn't, he won't play. He's on a roster with a bunch of dudes that are really good. So I think he'll get there, but he's clearly a really good shooter.
I like how he hunts his shots too. You know what I like about it is that there were guys, like I said, like Pelle Larsson. People are always like, I shot 44% from the field. Here is my judgment on a 3-point shooter. If they shoot and they miss, and the ball comes right back to them, and they're wide open again, and they won't shoot it again, you are not a shooter. Like, you're not a spacer. Anthony Dell'Orso, that one is going up again. So, again, take it. Sure, you agree with me this on.
He is a spacer.
Yeah, okay. How many spacers are on the team?
Enough to build a space station, Mike.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Hey-o.
Shear's got to leave in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to get back to Arizona basketball because that interests me far more than what we're about to talk about here. Watch the listenership go down immediately. But Arizona, West Virginia.
Wah, wah,
wah. I know we need to have we need to have a curtain closing. Hey, Kevin Thomas, can we get a graphic of curtains being raised and lowered? Seriously, that would be fantastic.
With curtains falling.
Yeah, dude, that would be so good when we talk about Arizona football, the curtains going down and then the curtains going up. Kevin Thomas, can we do this? Could this be something that we could add as a visual element? I will let you.
I have a West Virginia update, Mike.
What do you got? Talk to me.
Garrett Green did not practice today. Their best O-line, Wyatt Millam, did not practice today. There's a legit chance that they're both out on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't care.
Arizona, 7-6.
Oh,
I'm not kidding. My score is going to be the lowest score I've ever picked.
Give the people what they want. Yes, but I asked Brad Rich says, okay, here's a question. Anybody we see on Saturday that we didn't see play last weekend? No. Hey, I got a question. After the game, with the presser, by the way, we've lost 12 viewers in less than
Joey Capra. Maybe Joey Capra.
Okay. Michael Wooten, baby. Michael Wooten time. Woo-hoo. Man,
I think they're going to have to go 2 tight end like most of the game.
We heard that all off season.
Man, if they don't have Michael Wooten out, that's a...
Hey, Michael Lukin or Michael Wooten?
Wooten.
Yeah.
You think you could? No, I was going to say something mean, but I'm not going to.
I don't know. All right. Real chance we go 3-9? No, but I think worst case scenario is 4-8. I think we win one more. I think we can win one more game.
Yeah. I got to say, yeah.
Also, I got to give you some credit. Unfortunately, I got to give you some credit. So
I'm ready for it.
So Michael Poopin. I have not had cast today, by the way. So I asked around a little bit. You are dead right about something, and nobody. Yeah. This Arizona staff, last year's Arizona staff under Tyler Owens, who I think is Tyler Owens, I think is absolutely fantastic.
He is. Absolutely.
He is. Tyler Owens and he's a good dude as well. We do not lump him in with the SRS crowd. But no, Rick Barnes, you get nothing. He is, he had guys lift heavy weights. He had guys that wanted to get stronger, that, when they're playing against other football players that lift weights, they needed to go against, and they needed to be stronger as well. This staff has a very, very different approach, according to multiple parents that I talked to. Like, unfortunately, it's like you said yesterday. It's far more plyometric based. Beach volleyball. I'm just kidding with beach volleyball, but hot yoga. A bunch of basically
Rich,
not lifting weights.
the last coach that did that was Rich.
Right.
Who's that?
What's that? Oh, sorry. Kevin Thomas is messaging me.
Steve Hernandez, what recruiting allegations?
That was all true.
Rich Rodriguez was very similar. We're going to try to get you speed and all that, but it ain't working. I mean, It is very clearly not working.
Well, it's not working, and on top of that, at least with Rich Rod, he's like, Rich Rod was also, by the way, Rich Rod was absolutely great at this. He's like, you know what? Who needs guys that lift weights? We are going to out-scheme you. And Brent Brennan, though, comes in and says, not only will we not lift weights, we will not out-scheme you as well, and then we will let the chips fall where they may. Sure?
Yeah, Rich was, we're going to out-scheme you, and we're going to be faster than you. That's our goal.
Right. Yes. We knew Rich Rod had an identity. We knew Rich Rod.
Oh, absolutely. Most coaches have an identity. If you gave me a team, I could tell you their identity.
Yeah, well,
I don't know Arizona's, and I don't think we're going to know Arizona's this season.
Now, do you think the curtains are up on the identity?
Ooh, that's good. You keep asking me to take a picture of these curtains, but the sun reflects. It's really hard.
really hope that I really hope that Kevin Thomas can come up with a curtain segment. That would be great. Oh, Pihoff says, how would Rich Rod have done with this roster?
Noah Fafita would have ran for 600 yards.
Yep.
And he would have killed it. No, would be awesome in this offense. And Speedy would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A guy, you're going to make fun of me, and I know this sounds stupid. He would make Jeremiah Patterson look good because
why wouldn't you? I make fun of you
because he would do end arounds. He would do end arounds and stuff like that with them.
By the way, unfortunately. Now, Jake Fagus says, shock to the system after switching up your training system with the majority of the same players. Well, yeah, I mean, when you go from lifting weights to doing jumping jacks, I mean, it's not going to be the same thing. That is just odd. And I don't get. That's just another thing too. In this day and age, why would you think that lifting heavy weights like they did before probably wasn't a good idea to maintain?
Weird. It's that's one thing. Like he did it a lot more than I thought he should have. They changed a lot. Like their weight stuff is like the complete opposite of last year. Like their offense it's weird. It's weird. Yeah. It's not the strategy I would have taken. I would have gone all in on this year, and then probably put in what I wanted to after this year.
Oh, by the way, Ryan Mitchell says if they tried goat yoga. Interesting. I don't know if they've tried goat yoga. All right. Kevin WN says, is it possible they put the curtains in because they replaced the benches and squat racks with Pilates reform? Oh, I think
I got this, Mike, because Jason Barr discovered the curtains yesterday.
Did he ask about it?
This close to asking. And I was like, dude, you got to ask. I'm going to get him to ask on Thursday.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. No, this is great. Cosmic Contrarian says not lifting weights while playing football. Complete lunacy. Correct. Yes, exactly. And at some point, too, Arizona having like 20 players drop like flies every single game, including guys that have not gotten hurt in the past. Jacob Manu, has he ever come off the field while he's been at Arizona?
Not until this season, I think. It's just insane. And it's not even the big injuries, like you said, like a guy going down with a minor injury, a muscle injury, and Isaiah, I mean, and some of it's bad luck. Like, look, Isaiah Johnson getting hurt when he's running into a defensive lineman and getting tangled up. That probably isn't the strength and conditioning fault.
But maybe if they had lifted weights.
It's just wild. I've never seen, this just feels like a cursed season. And I'll be blunt, I don't usually go this far. Right now, it's a bad, like we've seen bad football teams. This is what they look like. And I don't know if I said this on the show the other day, but this looks like what the last season of a coach generally looks like.
Not the first season.
Right. And like, I'm really curious. Like, let's say West Virginia gets up 10-0 on Saturday. Mm-hmm. What happens? That's what you have to start thinking is, do these guys want to keep doing this? And that's not even a Brennan thing. It's you gotta look at it because 10 points might be enough to win the game, Mike.
Well, I mean, come on that way. You know, I put it out on Twitter the other day. It's too bad that we can't suck for a high draft pick.
Yeah, like I would love if like you had one trade, like you could trade as a college team.
Right. Oh, by the way, Ryan Mitchell says, have we considered Brennan will retire at the end of the season?
Yes, I could see him resigning. You just have to pay him $10 million.
Do you think there's any way you could negotiate that down and be like, listen, man, you're a good guy. You're obviously in over your head.
Well, the only way you would negotiate it down is you go, look, like we're going to play you 14. We're going to do it, or whatever. Let's just say it's 12 over the next 5 years. And in your head, you're like, but we're not going to make it 12 because it's going to wind up being 7 because you're not going to sit out the next 5 years.
Let me ask you this. Could we defer payments like Shohei? That's very funny. Kevin Thomas, the prodigious Kevin Thomas in here. Let me ask you this. Jesus Vaz says, doesn't it seem like Brennan lost the locker room? I mean, I don't know if he's lost the locker room.
I don't think so yet.
But I will say this, man. These kids are clearly not having fun.
Well, I mean, this is kind of an issue I have with this argument, and I know why you're saying it. Losing isn't
right.
Kids don't have fun when they lose. If Arizona was winning, that wouldn't come up. So losing isn't fun. Like if they're winning on Saturday, all of a sudden you're gonna be like, man, they really look like they're having fun. See what I'm saying?
No.
Losing teams don't have fun.
Right. Okay, now, Angel Antonio Chavez. Angel Antonio Chavez, you were not in here yesterday, and I was trying to give you a shout-out again for the name. I do believe, let me ask you this, Sheer. We have many great names in the chat. Is this the best name in the chat?
100%.
Yes, Angel Antonio Chavez. Ligament tears are hard to blame on the S&C staff. Honestly, it's more of a scheme issue. Different angles require different muscle group activation. My problem, though, is that everybody's getting hurt, though. That's the and we look weak out there as well. That's more of my point, Sheer. I see you agreeing with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
but it just feels abnormally like. Saturday was like what? Every 4 plays, someone was down.
Can you ask him about? Hey, can you ask? Hey, listen to me. Can you ask the? Can you ask tomorrow? Can you say, was there anything changed with the strength and conditioning staff approach?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll ask Thursday. I'll say, is there anything to changing philosophies, and if so, blah blah blah. Yeah.
And how many? And is it a good idea to replace bench press with jump rope?
I don't think I'll ask that one, but I'll ask about strength and conditioning for sure.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit about the defense. Duane Akina, happy birthday today, Duane Akina. We like Duane Akina a great deal on this show. Duane Akina is the man. I just wish we had more Duane Akinas on the staff, not less Duane Akinas. Pretty good for an old white guy. Sheer, you want to wish him happy old white guy birthday?
Yeah. I mean, my guy's 80 years old today. Looks 40.
Acts 30.
Yeah. Duane, I've heard rumors that one more injury and Duane's actually going to get out there and play.
Oh, no. I mean, he would, yeah, exactly. Hey, wait a second. You don't want an SID to get mad at you for reporting that, though, sure.
You know what's funny? We talked about this on Saturday in the press box. If Khalil played in that game, what numbers is he putting up right now?
Khalil Tate?
Yeah, because he was the captain. Do you think he could have ran for $150 in that game?
No, because they would. No, I have no faith in this offensive staff. They would have.
Well, no, not this offense. Not this offense.
Well, like, with Rich Rod?
Yeah. Right now. He'd run for $150 right now, right?
Probably 285.
Yeah.
Oh, man, seriously. I am all in. I had not thought about this, but I am so in on bringing Rich Rod back. Let's just have fun, man. Let's just have fun.
Again, Mike and I, we're all about winning. We want to win. But if we're going to lose, and look, we covered Arizona football. We know what losing is.
Yeah, too much.
It needs to be fun. Like Makovic wasn't fun. Stoops was all right because at least you had Stoops acting like a maniac on the sideline.
Yes.
Right?
Rich Rod was fun.
Rich Rod, you were losing while scoring 7 touchdowns. It was awesome.
Yes.
Saturday, BYU, like boring losing. It's just you can't sell it.
Here's how our press box conversations go, because unfortunately I sit behind Sheer, which is a mistake on their part.
I gotta go in a minute, Mike. I gotta go in a minute.
I know. No, you said you got 11:20 and then you're out.
I know.
Here's how our press conferences. Here's how our chats go. Hey, Arizona just goes 3-and-out or throws a pick 6. Well, little do they know that we're just trying to set them up for failure. They do not know that Arizona is going to get the ball back, and then they are going to strike when the arrogance sets in.
Yeah, I turn around and tell Mike, we have them right where we want them. Now they're cocky. Wait, watch for this.
And then it literally, like, the next play will be like a Shedeur 60-yard touchdown pass or something.
Like, perfect. This is perfect. Now they're overconfident.
Yes. No.
I like your line. You always say minor setback for a major comeback.
Major comeback. No, that has literally been.
It's 35-0, and you're like, guys, I'm leaving. I'm going to miss the greatest Arizona comeback of all time, but I got to go.
Minor setback for a major comeback. Also, real quick, Mark Stoops is not leaving an SEC job to come to it.
A great job. Why would you go to Arizona?
Nobody leaves an SEC job unless they're not wanted there anymore.
I don't think Brent Brennan's going to get fired, but if you want to look at candidates that would replace him, don't look at a major school.
What about Jeff Skurin?
What is he doing these days?
Isn't he coaching like Rio Rico or like Sierra Vista or something?
Probably, yeah. You look at coordinators or G5 schools. I don't think there's one Power 4 school that would leave Arizona right now.
I think you're right.
Which is fine. Hire a 28-year-old coordinator whose future will depend on this job.
All right, real quick, and then you got to leave, Sheer. Jed not happy in SRS. By the way, real quick, I had a bonehead that tweeted at me, and he said, I'll bet these players regret not following Jed to SRS. No, they do not, because here's what. Anthony Gimino, who you actually like, said that first-round picks are first-round picks. Takario Davis, Jonas Avenea, T-Mac, they're all going to be picked high, regardless of where they are, and they don't want to be up in SRS. So that's it. Oh,
I really haven't heard any complaints about that.
Hired Chief. That would be interesting. Chief's never coached though before.
Tim Walls is the NAU coach. That's a good package.
AZ Wildcats fan says we can get Tim Walls in about 2 weeks. That would be very good. Bring in the old ball coach. All right, Sheer. Shoo, get out of here.
Yesterday that if it goes wrong, you're going to like this name, Niemer Hassey. It's time to bring him home.
Oh, dude, seriously. Well, he's already here, man. Just unpack just bring him in, baby.
Shout out, Niemer. All right, goodbye, everybody.
All right, Niemer's Wieners. Okay. All right, now, Jason Shear, moving on. Okay, Brad Rich says, oh, man, I didn't know it's smelly, rainy Seattle. It's smelly, rainy Seattle. You need to be very, very clear about this. Okay, but we are now going to get back to something that interests me a far greater deal because, again, I do not like talking about this. But first, Circle K. Circle K, everybody. Circle K. Now, listen, we got some bad news on Circle K. Obviously, the one up on Prince and Oracle. Not at all thrilled about that one. But remember, there are many, many, many good Circle Ks here. And again, you can really check this out. But the great thing is, you've got a Grant and Oracle Circle K, you have got the 6th Street Circle K, or you've got the one out on Snyder. I like that one as well. That was a good shout out by somebody earlier in the chat. But check that out. Circle K, my friends. Again, be like Dennis Walsh. You might say, man, Dennis Walsh, that guy goes flying all over the country. That guy's cool. Guess what he's probably doing up there? He's probably scoping out land for another Circle K. Absolutely. Check it out, though. Circle K, be like Kevin Thomas, the great Kevin L. Thomas. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Okay, real quick, and then we'll get to the next one. Paul Pehoff says, moment of silence for Prince and Oracle. Yes. Everybody, yes, moment of silence. 1 second. Okay, there it is. Hopefully it'll be back. Hopefully it'll be back and ready to rock and roll. Also, chicken and pickle. Guess who is going to be co-hosting with us on Friday with me and Skier? Jacob Franklin. Jacob Franklin, though, is also a jerk. He is a snitch. And Jacob Franklin offered us to go to Chicken and Pickle. And then when the moment arose, when the time came, he said, nope, he pulled the seat right out from under us. We were not happy at all about it. But there's a reason why, though, is because even though Jacob Franklin is a jerk and a snitch, Chicken and Pickle, though, is a popular spot. So head to chickenandpickle.com and to see all the fun you can have at their Glendale location. Now, our good buddy, the great Kevin L. Thomas, likely has been there as well. So again, check it out. Chicken and Pickle, my friends. Okay, now let's get back to Arizona basketball. That's far more enjoyable for me to talk about. This is a good team. I'm going to go on record now and say that I think this is going to be the Tommy Gunn's best basketball squad that he has put out there. And a big reason why is they are tough. Again, there's 3 things that I'm looking for on this team that I don't know that last year's team or the year before had a ton of. No soft weenies. This is a tougher team. You look at it. Jaden Bradley, tough. Caleb Love, mercurial, but certainly not a weenie. KJ Lewis, the epitome of tough. Then Trey Townsend, tough. Tobe Awaka, tough. We have many, many tough people. I don't know if Mount Creeves is tough, but he's 7'3", so he gets a pass. Then coming off the bench, you got more tough players. I am very, very happy with this maturation. I am also happy about another thing. Players that can get their own off the bounce. For way too long, and I mean way too long, Arizona has had a guy. Yes, JP66 says this feels like the best team since the Ben Matherin team for sure. Totally agree. Totally agree. But the one thing about this team, though, is that they got players that can make plays off the bounce. Jane Bradley can live at the free throw line. We've seen it. Caleb Love, we know what he can do. Sometimes not, maybe shooting a little too much. Can do without the one-legged runners from the three-point line. But KJ Lewis, also not really a guy that's going to cross you up, but he's got some wiggle. Trey Townsend, the epitome, can shoot threes, can hit you from mid-range, and very, very good. Then off the bench as well, Carter Bryant. Last year, think about the team that lost to Princeton. You had nobody that can make plays off the bounce. At the end of the game, you were giving the ball to Courtney Ramey. No offense, Kevin L. Thomas, St. Louis native as well, Courtney Ramey. But either way, this has guys that can make plays off the bounce. Also, I am excited to see real basketball this year, and I think Brian Jeffries, the GOAT. The GOAT was talking about this on his show or on the broadcast yesterday as I was driving home. It's going to be a lot different. By the way, Brian's funny to listen to because Brian is very PC, as you know most GOATs are. But Brian also said that he goes, it's with all due respect. All the way. Also, if you're going to say all due respect, you also know that immediately is going to be something that I'm going to disrespect you on. So watch me disrespect this. Then the GOAT says, this isn't going to be like going to Pullman or Maples where there's about 3,000 people. There are going to be packed gymnasiums to watch these games. Now, half the reason I think they're going to be packed is because they want to see the GOAT. But other than that, they also like their basketball as well. That is a big, big factor on that. So we got to keep that in mind. Ryan Mitchell believes that Arizona Elite Eight at best, but he does say happy to be wrong. Ryan Mitchell does have two first names, though. So maybe we will hold that against him. Now, Kevin Thomas. The prodigious Kevin Thomas says, this team will be able to meet the big moments and play the best. Exactly. Another reason why I think that we've got to add in here is girth. This team's got girth. You watch, look at Tobe Awaka. I mean, you bring in somebody like that off the bench, this is a man of muscle. This is a man of substance, the round amount of rebound. So again, I do think that this is going to be a very, very good team. And let's see here. Andy Bryant says, WWE, Big Ten, and Big East basketball. Next year, NBA. Okay. P-Hoff. I agree with P-Hoff. I don't understand saying a ceiling of an Elite Eight. You get to the Sweet 16, and anything can happen. I agree with that. I'm not going to minimize that. Come on, guys. We can't have a loser attitude. Here, we got to back the A, and we got to back the A to the fullest. And that is what we are going to do. Also, Kevin Thomas just sent this to me. Let's see here. Okay, Kevin Thomas, do I need to pause for this or no? All right, before the end of the show, before the end of the show. Sorry, that part I shouldn't read. The new limited time offer for introductory Die Hard memberships. Check it out. Limited time intro offer, $48. Hop in. You will not. This is one of these ones that you're going to look in there. You're going to say, man, I'm excited about this. Be like Kevin Thomas. He already hopped in there. The lovely June Thomas likely as well. Become a Die Hard. Also, Die Hard membership, free t-shirt of your choice from the locker, access to all your premium written content, entrance to the Discord lounge, discounts on all events. Boom! Check it out. All right, now Brad Rich, the great Brad Rich says, first or second in the Big 12 in basketball. You heard it here. Man, if Arizona's first or second in the Big 12, we are getting a 1 seed, my friend, because this is going to be a tough schedule for Arizona. But If that happens, yes. Also, Andy Bryant, the absolutely great Andy Bryant says, hit the like button. Yes, please, please. Everybody spread the word on this. Like I said, I'm very bad at it, and Shane Diefenbach has yelled at me before. Shane Diefenbach is much taller than me. I do not want Shane Diefenbach to continue to look down at me and yell. So please, when you hop in here, hit the like button. And even if you're not watching the game or watching the show, tell other people to hit the like button as well. It looks good for me. Okay. Brian Tassel says, Tobey will eat Dickinson's lunch. Oh, absolutely. I would totally go with that. And AZ Wildcats fan, I agree with you, buddy. There's no such thing as college basketball team ceilings. NC State was just in the Final Four. Clemson was in the Elite Eight. Boom. Yes. Whop. That is where it is at. Okay. Everybody out there, though, very, very much appreciate you all putting up with me. We will be back with you tomorrow at 10:30. We are going to talk a lot of Arizona basketball. Unfortunately, we got to talk some Arizona football as well. We're going to talk about the odd approach to Arizona weightlifting, which does not make a ton of sense to me. But we will find out about that. Like, on a serious note, though, everybody, very much appreciate you guys. You're the ones that make it work. When my head's spinning, when everything's not working right, I can always look to the comments, and you guys bail me out. You guys are fantastic. Very much appreciate you all. But for the prodigious Kevin Thomas behind the scenes, for Dennis Walsh, back the A, back the mic, RIP, Oracle and Prince. Agreed. Salute emoji, my friend. But for the prodigious Kevin Thomas, for everybody in the chat, I am merely Mike Luke. We will be back with you tomorrow at 10:30. TTFN, you have been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.